It's the weekend. It's the weekend. If you're watching this live, it is the weekend. If you're watching this not on the weekend, it's not the weekend. I'm excited to see you. I should take this gum out of my mouth. Lately, I've been chewing some gum. I'm getting like very, it's like almost like acidic mouth. It's, I think sometimes when I think it's my medication. Because sometimes when I take Adderall. I don't really mind sharing that. And, it really helps me tremendously. Sometimes, though, it makes my mouth taste a little bit. I said, hey, enough about me. Arya, you've got your application in. Congratulations. Hey, everybody, it's the weekend. It's the weekend. I don't know if you know it's the weekend. I'm so excited to see you. I don't think I've had my background, usually I got this green screen, but I want to do a lot more lives. So I figured I would, let you into my office, share a little bit. I did a little decorating. The thing over there, I love this typewriter. And I got it as a birthday gift. It's a Lego typewriter. And I just love it. And it's so cool. I didn't actually build it. My son built it, which was really nice. Because he's like, do you want me to build it for you? And I was like, sure. Because I just didn't have time to build it. So someone is, this is good. I try to be very smooth with Instagram Lives. I'm going to be doing a lot more, so I'm going to get really smooth with this. So, forgive me if there are any technical snafus. So it is Friday. It's November 13th. Wait, is it Friday the 13th? No, it's the 14th. It's the 14th. And I wanted to offer some time to give you some live advice. If any of you have any questions, I know a lot of you see my videos, and a lot of you, write me questions. I can't always answer them. A question just came in. If you need help with financial aid, contact my boss who's been doing it for 20 years. Oh, that's great. I'm glad you should send me that info. Maybe I'll check that out and see what that's all about. What would you tell high school students who take many shortcuts in life? Now, I don't know if you're a parent or a student, so it's very difficult because if you're a student and you're talking to your friends, it's a little different than if you're a parent. But there's two answers. One is, when you always take shortcuts, you don't give yourself the opportunity to make wrong turns. And for me, my whole life has been about making lots of wrong turns. And when I make wrong turns, that's when I tend to discover things. It's when I ask for help. It's when I learn about myself. It's how I get to know who I am. So if you're always getting things right and using technology or other people to get answers without first trying to process it yourself, then you really end up losing. And I think it'll be interesting because I think a lot of people are going to be able to go very far without really critically thinking and knowing how they got there. And I think that when they have troubles, I think that's when it's going to be really bad. So like if you're, for them, it's like a kid star. It's like when someone has a lot of success and then the bottom drops out, they don't really have the skills to be able to work through the tough stuff. So I think that's where you really run a risk. And a lot of it's going to be like you figuring it out. You know what I mean? It's like, the thing is, as an adult, I never want to be someone to like tell people what to disturb on. But the only person who's allowed to disturb me is my wife and my kids. And that's what happened. I'm back. Stick with me. Hey, I know there's many people on here and you can't answer every question, but in terms of dating, how do you get over someone if you can't find anyone better? That is such a great question. Oh, I love that question. I'm going to do a screenshot because that's a damn good question. So the question for anybody who's joining, this is a good one. How do you get over someone if you can't find anyone better? I'm going to start with the if you can't find anyone better part. So what does that mean? If you can't find anyone better. So it means to me that who you're with doesn't feel like they're enough or doesn't feel like it's the best partnership, but because you don't have anyone else, you'd rather be with someone than be alone. So it's like, I'd rather be with you than being alone. Which if someone's like dating me and they're like, hey, Harlan, I'd rather be with you than be alone, but, I'm not like totally crazy about you. I'd be like, what the Like, what does that even mean? And I think there's a lot of people who live in that world. And I think it's also very hard to meet, and it's really scary. So I wrote a book on dating called Getting Naked, 5 Steps to Finding the Love of Your Life While Fully Clothed and Totally Sober. And I have another book called Win or Learn. And I'm a big fan of Win or Learn. This book is really foundational for taking risks. And when someone asks me a question like that, my answer is about you. What do you need to do so that you can live in a world of options? Because right now you don't live in a world of options, or you're too afraid and uncomfortable to explore your options because if you take a risk, you'll get disappointed and hurt. And I think it's really hard to know if you're with your best choice or your only choice without really working on yourself. So if you're alone or feeling lonely, then I think this is an opportunity for you to really reflect, to look in the mirror and be like, hey, what is it that I need to do so that I feel good enough, so that I can take enough risks to live in a world of options? Because it's not easy, but like if you interact with people and reach out to them and express interest, I'm talking like through your daily life, through your interests, through business, through travel, if you're just naturally curious and engage with people, you're going to meet a lot of people. Some of those people will be interested in you and a lot won't, just like a lot won't be interested in me. But the thing is, if you don't do the work on yourself and you don't know you're enough, then you are going to walk through life seeing only opportunities to get rejected and to feel terrible. So that question of how do you get over someone if you can't find anyone better is you look forward and you work on you. So you look forward and you look in the mirror. You don't look behind you. It's always going to be better when you're not together and you start thinking about all the things that were good. But there was a problem, and there's still a problem. And I think the biggest problem, if I'm going to be honest with you, is you. Just like my biggest problem is me. When I don't get along with my wife, it's amazing. The problem, the overwhelming majority of the time, is not her. It is me. Like, I am a problem. I've recognized it even more and more. I'm a problem. And if I'm not doing the things to regulate myself and feel like I'm my best, then I'm not going to live in a world where I can see beyond the negative and self-limiting beliefs. So that's where you need to start. So I've got these books. Hey, to start the year, this is the coolest thing. I'm doing a Win or Learn risk-taking experiment as part of Best First Year. I don't know if you're familiar with Best First Year. This is my college coaching and success program for high school parents, high school students, college students, college parents. But Best First Year is the most powerful thing I do. I'll put it in the chat here. And I am launching a Win or Learn risk-taking experiment in the beginning of the year. And I'm going to focus on jobs and internships, but we can also focus on dating and relationships. And and I'll get to these questions in just one sec. If you become a member during this live, use code LIVE. I've activated it, LIVE15. And I will give you a free book, whatever book you want of mine. And you'll get 15% off, which is a lot. So Best First Year. It's so much more than just college. It's life. All right. I had a good question here. What is the book about? Or is it the title itself? I wanted to get back to that question. Here. How can I not fall in love with guy friends? Ooh, that's a good one too. I'm going to hold on to how can I not fall in love with guy friends. And I want you to see, so Win or Learn, this is the book, and it's like double spaced. It's got pictures. And essentially, this is the guide to help you to take risks and to recognize that the biggest obstacle is probably you and your fear of rejection and not being enough. And this is such an easy book, and it talks about the law of rejection. And I do a lot of that during coaching sessions as well. If you have more questions about this stuff, I'm happy to share with you. How can I not fall in love with guy friends? In jail, out soon. That's your username. You're living a dangerous, risky life. I think you're going to fall in love with all your guy friends. Good for you. Fall in love with every single one of them. but don't try to get with every one of them. Right? It's okay if you fall in love, because maybe that's just how you experience friendships. Then if you're dating someone, it'll be like being in love, as opposed to like being in love with a friend. It could be a different level. But let's just go with this for a sec. If you give yourself permission to be in love with all your guy friends, okay? And the thing is, I'm only going to really try and date the ones that are as interesting as they are attractive. Because some of them might not be as interesting as they are attractive. Some of them might be huge assholes. Some of them might not treat other people well. And the people we tend to be attracted to tend to be the people in our orbit. So are you just in love with anyone who shows you attention, which might be a reflection of like, maybe you need to work on you? Or are you in love with all these people because you like being around them and you like the way it makes you feel? And then what would you want to do with that? It'd be interesting if you were here, like if we were talking, I'd be like, okay, so the friends you've been in love with and you dated, like how did that go? How long did it last? And the thing is, you could be in love with them, but then choose who you want to actually be with and share yourself with, and however many, and whatever that means to you. But this goes back to that other question of like, if you know you're enough and you get enough attention simply by existing and doing things that fill you with joy, this thing of like being in love with every friend, which could also be like a distraction because you're kind of distracting yourself from the things that are really bothering you. Because if you're in love with everyone, you get to focus on them as opposed to actually focusing on yourself. So I would explore it. I'd explore it instead of fighting it and be like, oh, this is terrible. Like having it be a doorway. And I think I have this like weird way of approaching problems where it's like, okay, you're in love with all your friends, so like be in love with them all, right? See where that takes you. And it's probably going to take you to a place where it's like, wow, I am so busy loving everyone else that I probably am missing something in my own life, which is causing me to become like crazy over all these boys or friends or girls, wherever they are. You didn't mention gender. Oh, guy friends, right. And it might be more about you. All right, so go with it. Enjoy it. All right, so we got more questions. What's the book about, or is it the title itself? So the book is about asking yourself the question, what do you want to create, change, or experience? Like, what's important to you? And I find that a lot of you suck at actually going after what you want. A lot of you are too afraid to say what you think and express how you feel because you're too afraid someone's going to say no. I like what you added in this. There's great comments in the chats. Fall in love with yourself. That's really number one. Then you can really understand what it is you're looking for and be probably a little more choosy about who you decide to fall in love with. Is it worth it to follow your dreams? I like your questions, Friendly Firm. Is it worth it? Why wouldn't it be worth it? You know, it's like, here's the thing. When following your dreams, and I've got like a framework for everything. This is like great because I don't do enough of this. I got a framework for everything. See, I'm a big fan of following your dreams, but here's the big but. A big but is that it's really important to recognize that if you're following your dreams and you're surrounding yourself with people who are following their dreams, look at those people's lives, especially the ones who are 5 to 10 years in front of you. And that's going to be your life. You know, if you're lucky, or maybe if you're unlucky. So I'm a big fan of following your dreams, but follow your dreams and find the people who are living the lives you want to live and experience what that's like as early as you possibly can so you can decide if it's really something you want to pursue or not. You know, people like to, a lot of experts like to talk about don't follow your passion, don't follow your dreams. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. I think you can follow whatever you want, but see who you're following and see where it's going. Because chances are it's going to be hard for you to get somewhere else if you're not around the people who are in the place you want to go. And you might discover that this dream idea isn't so great. That's why you do it early. You do it experience. So many of you are so afraid to experience. You're so afraid to experience because if it doesn't go as planned, then something's wrong. But the beauty of doing something and realizing it's not right is you don't have to keep doing it. But until you experience it, then you don't know. All right. Another question. I met this new guy the other week, yesterday. We kissed for the first time and we are not even dating. Congratulations. I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, it sounds like it was a good thing. So you met this guy and you kissed. I don't know how you kissed, where you kissed. Hopefully you were sober when you kissed. Hopefully, he asked you or you asked him. So you're not dating, but you kissed him. So what is it that you want? You want to date him? If you want to date him, then before you kiss him again, talk about what you want. If you just want to kiss him again and not worry about what's next, then do that. Just know that he might not want to kiss you again, or he might be kissing someone else. And if he's kissing someone else and you haven't talked about who's kissing who and what happens after we kiss, then it's really, he's not doing anything wrong. So if you want to understand what's going on, then you investigate the kiss. Talk to him about the kiss. People are so afraid to talk about the kiss. Talk about the kiss. If you want to kiss him again, let's see if you wrote anything more. Hey, everybody, welcome. I'm just offering some advice. It is Friday night, so there's a lot of dating and relationship questions. I love dating and relationship questions. This was, oh, shit. Sorry, I spilled water. Son of a... I don't usually... Oh, God. Jeez. There's water everywhere. Son of a... I'm going to clean this up. Oh, God. I have all these electronics here. This is the real me. The real me. See, I censor that off. That part. And I do swear a lot. I try not to swear too much, like on videos, because people get all upset. And it's like I don't really win a lot. But when I'm like in my space here... Shit. I just spilled water everywhere. Oh, shit. I keep saying shit. Sorry. No more shit. When I'm in my own world here, that's how I act. This is me. Take me or leave me. Okay. Welcome, for those of you who are just joining. We're offering some, dating and relationship advice. That's what I was talking about. This is my book. I was trying to cover up the title because I think like the world is so scared of, this was my dating book. And seriously, this book is really good. And this book is all about taking risks. It's about training for the sport of taking risks, training physically, training emotionally, training spiritually, and realizing you live in a world of options, recognizing that if someone or something doesn't go your way, that just means someone or something didn't go your way. It doesn't have to mean anything more. And when you live in a world of options, you could take more risks and you can work through situations. And the thing is, a lot of you are so afraid to like date or to to be in an intimate relationship. And it's like, how are you going to figure this out if you don't do this? Like, what's going to happen? You're going to magically like be in your 20s and be like a dating prodigy? You're going to be phenomenal dating and you've had no dating experience? Like, that doesn't work. No, you've got to date and you got to like you kissed someone without knowing what was going on. So what does that mean? What's that like? You figure that out. And then you keep going out there. But if you're so afraid, if you're like, oh, I'm too ugly, no one will like me, no one will want me. If that's what you think about yourself, then that's what other people are going to think. You got to work to know that you're enough. You got it? Do you recommend pledging a fraternity freshman year? I recommend doing whatever you want to do. If you pledge a fraternity, here is what's most important. Make sure you have 2 or 3 other places. Places are where you sweat, play, pray, live, learn, lead, love, and work. Sweat, play, pray, live, learn, lead, love, and work. Because if you only have one place, if it's just that fraternity, and these people start to do dumb shit, and they start to hurt you, or they haze you in any way, and if anyone gets hazed, you can send me a message, and I'll reach out to your school and let them know. If that happens, you don't have options, right? You don't have options. So if you're going to pledge freshman year, I would talk to other people who pledged. I would make sure you check out the history of the fraternity to make sure they haven't been on probation a lot. If they've had some issues, allegations, red flag, man, like it's going to happen again. Red flag, like you're walking into a bad situation. And then I would make sure you always have other options. So if you're doing this pledge thing and you're like, these people are kind of assholes, I don't like them, then you have an out. Because if you don't have an out, then you're stuck. When I was pledging, I was hazed terribly. I transferred to Indiana University from University of Wisconsin-Madison. And my brothers were in this fraternity. And I have to tell you, I was just emotionally exhausted, and I just didn't feel like I had other options. So I went through it, and it was the dumbest shit ever. It was like, I hate hazing. And pledging and hazing are different. They don't go hand in hand. But I would see if there's a history of that. And I felt like I couldn't get out, because if I went back to like the dorms, I didn't really know anyone. It was just too hard. So I just stayed in it. And in retrospect, it was abusive, and it was dangerous. And I didn't have the power to say no. Now, there are lots of fraternities that are amazing, phenomenal. And they don't do those dumb things. They're like really good, they're really good fraternities. So I would investigate. And once you investigate it, you got water. Once you investigate, then you're going to know, right? Then you'll know. And I think it could be a great opportunity. It could be amazing. I love Greek life. Just understand the reputation and make sure you understand your options. Oh, in jail out soon. I'm glad you like that. So for those of you just joining, I'm Harlan Cohen, and I offer lots of advice. I do the whole college thing, but I also talk about, I'm writing a job book. I help parents. I'm I really offer advice on everything. I used to write an advice column for forever. So I handle any questions. I wanted everyone to know about Best First Year. That's one of the reasons that I'm doing these lives, is because I have the best coaching program for parents, and for any students, you participate too. I don't try to force parents to do it, because who the hell wants a college success coaching program? Like, most students are like, I don't want that. So I don't really need to tell you to do it. But if you do it and your parents do it, it's amazing. It's called Best First Year. There's live coaching every 2 weeks. I've got these incredible on-demand events, and there's a Facebook group. And if you join, go to Best First Year, you become a member, use the code LIVE15. That's LIVE15. If you do it during this live, I'll send you a free book too. I will send you a free book, and I will be in your corner, okay? And you'll get 15% off, which is a huge amount, which is great. You can join for 12 months, 18 months, month to month. If cost is an issue, let me know, all right? So check that out, because it's really helpful. I'm 25 years old, and many pairs my age are achieving romantic milestones. Whilst I am single and I have been struggling with comparison, how do you recommend overcoming this? Let's see. How do I recommend overcoming this? So you're 25 and you are single, and your friends are in these relationships. And I think it's so hard when you want to be with someone and someone else has something you want. There's no question that that's really hard. It's really hard. So once you acknowledge, hey, it's normal to see that, then it's really looking in the mirror and asking yourself, what am I doing? What am I really doing to help myself? Are you doing things? And if you're not doing enough or anything, then that comparison's just robbing you of an opportunity to really focus on the bigger issue. And it's what is it you're doing? Now, are you on a dating app? Are you having these friends fix you up? Maybe the friends who have really hot, together, interesting partners, they are a gateway to other interesting, potentially hot partners. Are you showing an interest in people who you meet on a daily basis? Are you engaging in conversation? Are you making it clear that you'd want to continue to talk to someone? Are you okay with rejection? This idea of if I talk to someone and they're not interested, could I move on? It's as a guy, I don't know if you're interested in women or men or whatever you're interested in. I know that, when women showed me attention, it's nice. It's a nice thing. So what are you doing? What are you doing? So when I start comparing myself to other people, I think, what am I doing? And a lot of times what I do, because I do stuff that's I got that issue. And I'll get to the pep talk in a second, okay? Victor, I'll get that pep talk. Or who is it? Someone as a final. Harry. Okay, we'll get that, okay? So, all right. I pressed the button and stuff happened because I was trying to do a screenshot. I have a note here. I don't want to get distracted. So what are you doing? Right? You're 25. You need to be curious. You need to meet people. I know it's exhausting. And if you're oh, it's too exhausting and I don't want to put myself out there and I've been disappointed so many times, then it's, Where are you putting yourself? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What are the types of people you want to meet? See, if there's people you want to meet, you can play the long game or the 6 month to 1 year game. And you find professional groups. You find groups where you can be active. You find groups where you can sweat, play, pray, live, learn, lead, and work. You do things that align with your interests, and you put yourself in those places, and you meet people. You do an experiment. If you want to. So I'm going to open up. I have to do this. In January, I'm going to do this Win or Learn experiment. And it's going to be like a personal challenge, like 12 weeks. And the idea is, what is it that you want? And if you want to meet someone, if that's your goal, then fantastic. We will help you to put together a plan. And at the root of it is, you have to get great at embracing this law of rejection. This idea that you can be the best, the brightest, do everything right, and you won't always get the outcome you want. That's the key problem. And if you recognize this, and you can take more risks and use envy as an entryway to self-reflection and motivation, then that's going to change your world. Because you got people, you gotta be thinking, man, there's so many people out there. There are so many people out there who can love me, who I can love, who I can connect with. They're there. You gotta think it every day, even if it's painful, every day. All right, you got a midterm coming up. Midterm in 25 minutes. Here's the thing. Friday, midterm. At what? It's 5:41 here in Chicago. Midterm. Okay. Friday, midterm. So I like to do this. First of all, you tell the story of your midterm. You finish that midterm, you answer that last question, and now you are free. It's the weekend. It's almost Thanksgiving. Damn, that feels good, right? So tell that story. Tell that story. And know that you're going to be okay, because you're always okay. And even if something happens that isn't the way you want it to be, you will turn it into something amazing, because that is what you always do. Problems equal an opportunity to meet people, and that is going to help you to find what you want, right? You're going to meet people, right? When I F up, I meet people. When things are not good, I meet people. When I don't get the answer I want, I meet people. So this midterm, enjoy it. Take it all in. Tell yourself the story of your midterm. And then kick some ass, all right? You got it. You got it, all right? All right. Communication is better than miscommunication and guessing where you stand. I'm a huge fan of communicating. Diana, you do coaching, and so do I. Hey, I hope you know about Best First Year, because it's the coolest thing I do. My coaching program, bestfirstyear.com, is the coolest thing. I get you, dude. I honestly feel like many people today don't know how to go beyond that surface level, or they're just not interested more in relationships and friendships. Okay, I like you. I want to be really nice to you. Okay, that is a bullshit excuse. It is a bullshit excuse. It's the people that you're meeting, or it's the conversations you're having, or it's how you're meeting them. Because there are lots of people who are interested in love, and there are lots of people who are interested in relationships. And if you are meeting those people, then you need to meet other people. There are so many people who are interested. And when you tell yourself that story, all you do is make excuses. It's just, there are people who want to be in relationships. Maybe you're meeting the wrong people in the wrong place. Maybe you need to date people who are a little older and more stable. Maybe you need to date people who have a reputation of having serious relationships and not just messing around. Maybe you need to be open to dating different types of people in different situations. It's like there are lots of people who are interested in something deep. There are also a lot of people who aren't. So if people aren't, then you date more. And listen, I know it's easy for me to say this because it's like, it's not me. And I know it's brutal and it gets emotionally draining. But shift your expectations. Make it more about having interesting experiences with people. Make it more about having interesting experiences, and you'll see if you like them or not. And make the stakes lower. Go out for a shorter amount of time. And change how you're doing it. Okay? And make sure that you love yourself. You got to love yourself. Because if you don't, you're going to blame, and you're going to hate, and you're going to hide, and you're going to believe the shit you're telling yourself to keep yourself safe. If you need a break because it's hard, I get it. But I don't buy it. Okay? I don't. I'm doing a research project with a professor that doesn't reply to emails unless I spam them twice, and research docs I don't really communicate, and I feel frustrated being in the project. So I don't think Shark Lover. Okay, you got a research project. There's a professor. You continue to communicate in a way that they don't respond. And you keep doing it and doing it and doing it and get frustrated. So if you keep doing it and doing it and doing it and get frustrated, then you're just going to get frustrated. So like expect to get frustrated because he's not going to respond. This person or her, whoever it is. So when someone or something doesn't respond the way I want, I ask myself 3 questions. Is it me? Is it someone or something else? Or is it this law of rejection, this idea that not everyone's always going to respond the way I want? So I say, is it me? Well, what is it that I can do differently to get this information to this person? And the question is, well, I'm doing it through email. Maybe there are other ways to do it. Maybe they respond in different ways. Do I even know what's going on in their life? Do I know how busy they are? Do I know the dynamics? I don't really know. I know they're annoying as, shit as hell. But like, what is it that I can do? So you reach out to that professor face to face because you don't send an email and expect a response. And you say, I really enjoy doing this research project. I love doing the research. I've noticed that I send you emails and it takes a while to get a response. And I wanted to make sure that that's the best way to reach out to you. I wanted to make sure that if I did need a response, what would be the best way to get that? And that's what you do. Talk to them. Start with gratitude, share what makes you uncomfortable, and then you get an answer. You get it? It's like, try that. And if you have tried it, then you just spam the email and you just surrender. Like, this is just the way this person runs the show. And you don't have to run it that way when you're running the show. Okay? All right, I want you to please know about Best First Year. Best First Year is my coaching program for parents and for students. If you like this, I do coaching. We do these group sessions every 2 weeks. They're so much fun. And I've got these videos on demand. I got to answer. I'll do a dating one. I will do a dating on demand event. So you all have the dating piece. You can join for a month. Go to bestfirstyear.com. and put it in the comments here. Hit live 15 and you get 15% off a 12 or 18 month membership, 15% off a month to month. If you get a 12 or 18 month membership, I will send you a free book. Any one of my books, even if you want the dating book. Although I only have a few of these because it's out of print. Maybe I need to do another dating book. All right. If I'm jumping around through questions, I apologize because I know some of you have asked me questions and maybe I missed them. What do you think about taking a year off after high school before going to college? I love it. 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 The reason I love it is because I think so much of your time is doing what everybody else wants you to do. And the idea that you actually get to spend a year doing what you want to do is glorious. Now, what is it that you want to do? How do you structure that gap year? I think it's really important if there's something structured. I talked to Jeff Salingo the other day, the author of the book Dream School, and that podcast is coming out. And we're talking about when it comes to gap years, just having things that are having a bit of structure, continuing to take a class, getting some sort of job, maybe doing some sort of travel, and to give yourself permission to just experience. Every student I've met who has taken a gap year has come back and been a really focused, more mature person. Sometimes financial aid, that could be an issue because if you're going right from high school to college, they'll offer you aid. You got to check out that situation. But when it comes to gap years and taking a year, I am just the biggest fan. I am such a fan. What's the rush, right? Experience and experiment. That's kind of my motto. Experience and experiment. Hey, Willy Wonka, should I withdraw or keep my math class? I'm worried I'm going to fail. I have a B currently, but the final's 40%. I don't know if I'm going to pass. What should I do? So here's the thing, man. Like, I can't advise you because I'm not your advisor. Like, I don't know anything about these. People ask me these questions all the time. It's like, listen, I don't know, dude. Like, you talk to your advisor, and then you go and you talk to your professor. And if you're worried about not passing, then you say, hey, I'm really concerned about the final because it's such a big part of our grade. And I did this video the other day where I was like, explain how you're studying. Ask if there are specific resources that he thinks would be helpful. Talk to some students who have been in a class before. And I mean, you got to be like, I don't get it. It's like, and I don't know if the stakes are so high where you need to get certain grades for a certain reason, but you're doing well, and the assumption is you'll continue to do well as long as you show up and do the work. But I would talk to your professor, and I don't mean to be impatient with you. I'm not like I sound a little bit like I'm annoyed. It's just, the thing is, you're doing well, and it's 40%. So it's not like they're gonna like all of a sudden, throw stuff on there you've never seen before. So I think you'll be in good shape. I don't know why are you getting so stressed out about this, man? Like, what's the big deal? Just chill out, okay? All right, you'll be great. Let's see if there are more questions here. A bunch of people joined, some questions. Let's see. Where'd you get those glasses? They're very nice. I got these a while ago. I got them at a place called S-E-E. And I've had them forever. And I've got this other pair of glasses. Actually, I found these frames. It was really interesting. I found these frames on like eBay or something. This particular frame is out of date. Like, they don't make it anymore. So what's really interesting is I found 2 blue frames. And I'll share this with you since you asked. And I don't know why these were available. They were brand new. The people at sea thought something fishy was going on. But I got also these. Look at these. These, I got to change these lenses. They're dirty. And this is the other ones. These are blue. And these are good. I used to like these more. But lately, because what happened is I couldn't find them. I lost them. I lost them for like 2 weeks. I lost these for 2 weeks. You know where they were? Underneath. Like I've got this like desk, and I've got like a little like elevated area. They were right under there. So anyway, I do like these. These are the OGs when I got glasses originally. And I can't find them anywhere else, but I love them. I think they're so interesting. So I'm glad you enjoy them. All right, let's see if there are any more questions here. So everybody here, I answered dating questions, relationship questions. You might wonder, like, what is it that I know about dating? The thing is that I am like the master of dating. I am. I'm great at it. I don't date anymore because I'm married, but I wrote an advice column for like 20 years. And it's like you see patterns. I'm applying to grad school. What's the key difference between a statement of purpose and a personal statement? Here's the thing. I wish I knew. The difference between the main difference, I'm just going to look, main difference between a personal statement and a statement of purpose. I feel like this is like I feel like you're playing games with me. A personal statement, statement of purpose. I think I know what it is. I think one is, your intention, and one is more about a reflection. So a statement of purpose is a formal essay focused on your academic professional goals. A personal statement is more of a narrative and introspective essay, right? So it's more of like, you focusing on the, what is it you're going to do versus like who you are. See, this is the thing. I like that. I like that you asked me a question that like you could look up. I'm not saying you should look it up, but I've always worried, like, is there any use for me anymore? Like, am I useless? Because anyone could look up any question, right? But I like that you ask questions, and I like that we get to share it because it's nice. See, this thing, even if you know the answer, this is such a great tip. I got to write this down. This is so good. It's that even if you know the answer and you can look it up, ask people. Because when you ask people, it's that connection. You know what I mean? All right. Thanks for joining. Hi, Debbie. You share your reels and posts all the time with your sophomore son, who I hope's watching right now. I hope so too. Hey, Debbie, if you have any other students or even your sophomore son, and this is something I'm going to be doing a lot of lives because I need people to know about Best First Year, which is my college coaching program for parents and for students. And it's not just for people in their first year. Like, if you enjoy this is what you get. This is what we do. And it's every 2 weeks, live coaching. There's on-demand events that focus on all aspects. I'm doing a job, an internship and job experiment, win or learn experiment in January. I'm so excited about that. It's part of Best First Year. I'm going to let people jump on in. And you come on in. It's if you use code LIVE15, you get 15% off, and I'll send you a free book. I'll send your son a book. Join for a month if you want. If I don't see someone I'm interested in a capacity where I ask them out, should I message them over media to ask them out or just around a bunch of people? So here's the thing. If you're interested in getting to know someone, I wouldn't just jump into asking them out. I would jump into having a conversation with them. See what their interests are. See if they're interesting. See if you find a connection. Because, if someone doesn't know you, it's hard for them to just be like, oh yeah, let's get together. Especially if it's not a dating app, if there isn't context, if someone's like not available, it's difficult. So I would really approach it more from a place of, I want to get to know you. Do we have things in common? And then if you have some good back and forth, that's great, right? Kind of ease into it. But there's nothing wrong with asking someone a question. It's nice if you have something in common, especially if it's like if you have a class together or like mutual friends or something. I'm always seeing like, I really always liked your be seen and out there and out yourself out there when it comes to dating a partner. 100% agree. Yeah, it's like, you put yourself out there. I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with my head. Like maybe my brain just works differently. No, I don't. I know it works differently, but I'm talking about like in terms of interacting with people and meeting people. It's like no one needs to like me. I'm very sensitive. It's part of my ADHD, but it's like I'm just going to be curious and interested in meeting you. If you're interested in meeting me, great. And if not, then I'll move on. And I have a lot of social anxiety. I could maybe meet a couple people, meet a few people, and then I got like my batteries are drained. You just got to know yourself. You got to know yourself. And all these little tricks and tools are about helping you. About helping you to, have the emotional stamina to take risk after risk. All right, everybody. It's good to see you. Some of you know me. Some of you don't. Some of you I've never seen before. Get out there. Some people sit inside and expect to get results in terms of dating. That's right. When you sit inside and wait for someone to meet you, all you do is spend a lot of money on DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats. Love doesn't always deliver, Sometimes it does. I bet there's more stories about that now because there's more delivery services. But if you want something, you got to be the one to go after it. I'm writing this book. I'm writing this job book. And I'm a firm believer in if you want something, you find people who are doing those things and you surround yourself with people who you can learn from and you go out there. It's like people who are sitting there waiting. Like I think that it's going to be very dangerous for a lot of you. Like if you're not good and you can't practice putting yourself out there, because technology has made it so easy for so many people to apply for jobs, to show interest and be stuck in a long line. It's like you got to figure out a way to stand out. You got to figure out a way to connect, because if you don't get out there and you don't get comfortable with the uncomfortable, you're going to be very disappointed. It's going to be hard for you. You're going to be very far back in the line in terms of getting the things you want. All right. Is salad the healthiest option to be eating in the dining halls? It depends on what you put on your salad. There's been these, I haven't seen a lot of these videos lately. It used to be like people would get salads. They'd get like Cobb salads that have like the egg and the blue cheese and the bacon and every fatty thing. And then they put dressing on it and the salad would be like 2,500 calories. And they're like, I'm eating a salad. I think I like salads when I go to dining halls. You just got to watch the dressing. Sometimes if you use like some, I'm not saying you've got any issues and maybe you need to eat 2,000 calories. But if you're looking for healthy, you want to have a good balance. So salad dressings tend to have a lot of fat. Hey, Harlan, do you got some kind words? I'm going through a really tough time. Hey, Bearcorn, I appreciate you. And I appreciate you sharing that. Man, it's like bad times turn to better times. It's like the thing. It's like, the skies, they part. The clouds disappear and the sun shines. And the best way to get the clouds to clear is to do things, It's to do things, even if you don't want to. I do this. You move your body, you journal, you do something for someone. You remember that life is a cycle, and you observe, and you give yourself permission to feel it, and then you move on. You know what I mean? It's like you just allow it. There's I listen to a lot of spiritual gurus, and I don't know which one this was. I like Mickey Singer, Untethered Soul. But I like this idea of it's like when you're in rocky, difficult waters, if you fight it, you get water in your mouth, you get tired, it gets to be scary. But it's like when you just allow yourself to be and go with the current, when you can pull yourself up and observe and be above the water and be an observer of these things, it takes away a lot of the anxiety. So I tend to do a lot of observing. When I was mugged once at gunpoint. When I was mugged at gunpoint, instead of being scared, I was like, it was weird. I was like, I was a little, I think I probably was scared, but it was more of like, wow, this is what it's like to be mugged. It's like, this is what it's like to experience this. So if you're going through a tough time, it's like, oh, this is what it's like to go through this. That's what it's like. And then you'll learn from it. You'll get through it. You just got to keep pushing through. The problem is when people don't sleep, don't eat, self-medicate. They do things where they make their brain gets all messed up. When your brain gets all messed up, it's hard to make thoughtful decisions. And sometimes we become too impulsive and do things that can hurt ourselves or others. But just go with it. Hey, do you have any recommendations for career coaches for seniors who could use guidance with the job hunt? Thanks, Heather. I don't know if you were here earlier in the conversation. I am hosting a Win or Learn job and internship experiment. I'm hosting this in January, and it really is focused on careers. I'm working on a career book right now, and it's going to be something that's part of Best First Year. I might do like an a la carte version, but I would love for you to consider that. You could even do it for a couple months. And, the career coaching piece, and what I do a lot is career coaching. It's life coaching. It's what is it that you want, right? So you start with what you want. I want to work for whatever, a big accounting firm, or I want to work in marketing, or I want to have the biggest YouTube channel in the world, whatever. But you start with what you want, and then you think people, places, patience. Who are the people I can turn to? Where are the places that I can find some support and how long will it take for me to get where I want to go? And you think of that destination or that dream job, but then you start to talk to people as part of your pursuit of that job. And when you're talking to people and having conversations, coffee, chats, face-to-face conversations, you enter this mode of it's uninhibited curiosity. And I find that, for students who are looking for jobs, the big mistake is to focus so much on the job as opposed to the uninhibited curiosity that drives the decisions that build the relationships that ultimately result in getting jobs. And a lot of students are so focused on the job and the destination and the career, they really struggle. I'm a big fan of experimenting and exploring, but I think it's our fear of getting it wrong that keeps us from having those experiences that will inform us. So I encourage you to join Best First Year, and your son can participate in this. And instead of being Best First Year in college, it's really going to be Best First Year out of college. And you use code LIVE15. And this is going to be something I'm going to be doing in January to kick off the year. But beforehand, I have so many great sessions, and there's so many things that I'm going to touch on. Even when you think of like career planning, it's who are the teachers, who are the professors, who are the people on campus that are living the experiences I want to live. I was doing this experiment yesterday. I was just goofing around. I was looking at a community college, and I was looking at the community college faculty, this community college not far from me, and I was like blown away. If you ever want to play this game, look at the faculty and see where did those people go to school? What was their career path? Are they working in an industry while they're teaching? At this community college, they were the most exceptional faculty members from incredible schools. And it was like so interesting because it goes back to this. When you start to look around at my campus, my professors, all the people here, how many people have I really talked to about their careers? How many people have I talked to and been curious to learn from? Because uninhibited curiosity, that is the most important factor. That is the secret sauce when it comes to success, when it comes to working through the world we're in right now. Someone asked the question, I'm thinking about studying computer science in 2026. What do you think? Is it a major that's worth the trouble when it comes to the job market? So listen, you're like going to college, right? You're gonna be studying it, I imagine, in 2026. Who knows what's going to be happening in 2030 when you graduate and you're looking for a job? If you like computer science and you're fascinated with that, then instead of being worried about a job, find the people who are doing the most innovative, creative, groundbreaking work. Follow them. Follow them on LinkedIn. Follow them on Instagram. Find the people at your school who are doing the most fascinating work. Find recent grads who are doing fascinating work. See, if you're pursuing a major because you think it's going to be an easy job, I don't think there's any majors, very few, that are going to be easy jobs. But if you're pursuing a major because you have this uninhibited curiosity and you want to connect with people who are doing the things that you find interesting and exciting, then that old computer science will be great. You just have to be excited about it. And then you have to continually connect with people who are doing what excites you. And it'll be phenomenal. And here's another thing that drives me bonkers. It is when, I was thinking of the word bunkers, that's why I paused so long, because not a lot of people use the word bunkers. It's that people are so worried about AI replacing jobs. AI is only going to complement jobs. It's rocket fuel. And if you're someone who's interested and curious and you can use AI in new ways to innovate and share those innovations with people who are doing the things you want to do, then you do that. This is the thing. When you're in college, this is like all you. Man, like I wouldn't wait for anyone to give you a job. I think that is the worst strategy. I think it's the worst. I think what you do is you create your own job while looking for a job later, but it's like you do things that are interesting. If you're into computer science and like, you don't need someone to like tell you what your project's going to be. Just start doing something. Do it in your free time. Do it as part of a class. Do it to help a club or organization. Do it to fix something that's broken. And then by the time you look for a job, it's like, oh, I did this. And you probably get paid for it too. Because it's like there's a million ways to make money now if you're interested in doing things. You just find people who are doing it. How do I tell my professor that I like them? You don't. Why are you telling your professor you like them? No. What's the point? You gonna run away and marry the professor? You gonna have an affair and you'll get fired? If the professor if the professor like gets with you, I don't even care how old you are. That's like so effed up. Because it's like you're a student until you like graduate, and it's like no. So no, don't get together. You don't have to tell your professor you like them. No. All right. So the advice is, I'll do another video, is you find someone who looks like your professor. You find someone who maybe talks like your professor. You find someone who reminds you of your professor, who's like not in a position of authority, who isn't someone who has such a different power differential. And you get with that person, right? Like that's the strategy. You get with, like, you date, you go out, you know. That's what I'm saying. Yep, exactly. That's what makes me think twice about it. AI, but thanks a lot. Yeah, AI, dude. Like, I have some friends who are. I gotta make sure I make a note. I have some friends who are in the career placement profession. And, it's like this idea of AI replacing people, maybe it's replacing certain jobs, but there are going to be so many other jobs. And it's how you use it. But if you don't like computer science and you're only doing it because you can get a good job, then I would find something else. And I would find people who you can get to know, and I would learn from them. All right? All right, so I'm going to stay on just for a couple more minutes. I want everyone to know about Best First Year. I'll put it here in the chat again. It's my college success and coaching program. If you've enjoyed this live conversation, we do this every 2 weeks. It's a ton of fun. You can use code LIVE15, join for a month, join for 18 months. Parents, this is very much for you. Students, you are always welcome. I don't try to sell it to students because you got enough things, but it's there for you, and it's awesome. Coaching every 2 weeks. Sir, as a student, it's better to make simple projects or even make posters for free than to think, how can we make money out of them, right? No. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want to. You do both. You start with free, but then you're like, how can I make money? I built this. Oh, I should tell you about the future math. This is so cool. Do any of you have debt? Any of you have student debt? Because if you do, I'm not trying to get any money from you if you have student debt. What I want to show you is future math calc. So this is something I did. I created this future math calculator. Save that into Happy Camper. I'll save that. The future math calculator. So I created this really cool calculator using this app. And the reason I did this is because I want people to not graduate from college buried in debt and not knowing how much that debt's going to cost them. So I created a future math calculator. So if you like this, if you're interested in this, I'd love for you to test it. Go to futuremathcalculator.com. It's free. And the idea is you kind of look at a career, entry-level salary. And I think I need to change one thing where people can adjust the salary if they want. But entry-level salary. And then you put in what your loans would cost. And it tells you how much per month you're going to have to pay, roughly, for these loans. And how much you'd be able to afford budgeting the money you've come in. It's so cool. It's so cool. So I would do things where you can do things for free that excite you, but then those things are going to lead to something paid. Like even my future math calculator, I could take this and I can I do it for free, but then it's like, okay, who has an interest? Who are the people who would like to be in front of the eyeballs that are doing what I'm doing? So it's like you start off not worrying about the money, but you are always thinking, well, what can I do? How can I turn this into something I can make money? That's a good thing. It's a good thing. Making money is a good thing. Do you have any advice on a college junior doing an internship during the summer versus spring semester? So you're doing an internship during summer versus spring semester. That's a really great question. Hold on one sec. I want to just take a quick little screenshot. Oh, shoot. I lost you. I have to really think about that, the pros and cons. I think summer internships, there tend to be a larger cohort of students. Sometimes you're traveling. I think you don't have you don't have to worry about the other classes you're taking. You could be more present. And I think that an internship is really about being present. However it's designed, your school also might have it where it's an internship where that's not a big factor because it's what's already been part of what you're doing. I would say, though, if you did it during the spring and you can also have a life in college and be able to find balance in your life, then you could do another one over the summer. Because if you do it in the spring, it gives you another opportunity. So in terms of benefits, I would say do as many internships as you can because you're going to learn you either like it or you hate it. And either way, it's a success. So I would say that's the biggest plus is just being able to do more. And the fact that you have an internship is really cool. I'm very shy and I can't dance, and that's a big disadvantage. I can't dance either, and I can get shy. But there's a lot of things you do that you're comfortable doing. And if you're very shy, I want to just unpack that for 2 seconds. If you're very shy, I like to stop and say, okay, great, I'm shy. I give you permission to be shy. Self gives myself permission to be shy. So now it's, when am I not shy? When are you not shy? I know when you're not shy. You're not shy when you're comfortable with what somebody's going to think of you, right? That's pretty much it. I'm shy if I don't know what someone's thinking and don't know that they like me. But if they don't like me, if I don't know them, I get shy. So if you just want to play around with shy and be like, what does that even mean to me? Like, what does shy mean to me? Because I think a lot of times people will just jump to shy and they'll use that as this thing that's like, oh, I'm shy, so I don't do this and this. And I'm like, okay, well, you're just going to miss out on this and this. You could be shy and still do this and this. Like, you could be shy and still do lots of things. I'm very uncomfortable socially in lots of situations. And I still do certain things. So you get to know yourself, and you also get to know other people. And if you recognize I'm not shy when I'm around people I know, well, then you put yourself in situations where you can get to know people more. And then you experiment with, I give people permission to think whatever they want, even if I don't know them. Because they don't know me, so what they think isn't really relevant or true necessarily because they don't know me. So this idea of focusing so much on what other people think and then unpacking that and processing it makes it interesting. Because then you're like, I'm not really that shy. Maybe I'm not that shy. Maybe I'm shy in certain situations. Or maybe you don't call it shy. Just call it, I'm uncomfortable when I don't know people real well. Okay, well, that's the stem. That's where your shyness stems from. It's like, if you want to meet people and you want to be in situations. Oh, and if dancing, if you don't know how to dance, then take dance lessons. And be a shitty dancer. I am a shitty guitar player. I play the guitar. I have a whole CD of music. Do you know this? This is crazy. This is something most people don't know. Let me see. Hold on one sec. Where is it? I have one of these. This is so funny. Hold on. Where's my guitar? How did I lose my guitar? Oh, here's my guitar. I'm still here. Don't you worry. I'm still here. Don't you worry. I'm still here. So this is my CD. I have 7 monthly listeners on Spotify. I look super young there. Right? This is my CD. And I am a terrible singer. And I can play guitar. And I'm terrible. And I'm bad at playing guitar. This is so out of tune. One of my songs I sing is My Roommate Stu, which is about a naked roommate called Stu. And I'm not great, but I can also do a little bit like, I never know what note I'm playing, but I can play. So my point is, you can be a shitty dancer and a shitty guitar player, and good things will happen. Because when you do things and you own it, people appreciate that. I love all your feedback. However, my daughter is tired of me forwarding your post. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know, it's funny. Thank you for that. Hey, Nikki, do you know about Best First Year, my college success and coaching program? I put it in here. If you have a younger sibling or anyone else, this is my future math calculator. I am really making a point of sharing this because, and for all of you, one of the big problems is nobody prepares you, students, for everything that's coming your way. Like, I feel for you because you're put in these situations where nobody tells you how to navigate the social, emotional, physical, financial, and academic changes. Then it becomes professional. No one tells you this. In high schools, they get you into college and they have you do a bunch of things to get good grades. But then you get to this next part of your life and you are totally unprepared, like totally unprepared. And then you have your parents who are trying to help you and they're not prepared because nobody told them that this was going to be this way. And you have no training, like none, no training. Like, isn't that so effed up? Like, none. And you're supposed to figure it out. And the thing is, when you make mistakes, you're like, oh, I did something wrong or there's a problem. But the problem is no one ever told you how to do this. So that's why I do what I do. And I feel for you. It's like, and I think the world's much more complicated now than it was when I was a teenager. I know it is. And what makes it more complicated is there's more inputs. And inputs, in terms of information incoming, it could be either positive information or it could be like really negative information. It could be a lot of rejection. And you are more vulnerable to rejection than ever before because it comes at you from so many different places. And you do not have the armor or the tools to work through that. So my Best First Year program is really all about working through all of those challenges. And for parents and for, oh shit, that's not the right link. For students and for parents especially, this is a great way to help yourself and to help your student. And for any students here, like, have your parents sign up, okay? Use code LIVE15, get as a holiday gift, because you can give it as a gift, and become a member. And I'll send you a free book if you join. All right. And I appreciate you sending the messages to your daughter. I know she probably thinks I'm annoying. Let's see. There's a lot of people who have been coming in and leaving. That's the thing, like, with these, it's like, when I'm doing a live, some people are going to stick around, some aren't. And if I'm so worried about everyone sticking around, I'm not going to do this. Angela, I like your question. Would you recommend me go to NYU or BU? I'm a transfer accepted to both. I live in Boston and I love it. How different is New York? So Angela, I would like you to talk to some transfers at NYU. This is a rule. If you are going to commit to doing something that is such an important investment in your time and also financially, talk to the people who are in these places. Talk to at least 3 transfer students that are in a similar major or you have things in common with. Being a transfer is tricky because when you're a transfer, you don't have a lot of time to observe. And in a city like New York, and I'm going to give you a very honest answer, NYU is a tough school to transition into if you don't have a specific cohort, if you aren't focused, if you aren't targeted, if you don't have a plan. The Best First Year thing, I know I've been talking about that, would be great for you. It doesn't be best first year in college. It's best first year whenever you're doing something new. Because you need a plan. You need a social transition plan, an emotional transition plan, a physical transition plan, a financial transition plan, and an academic transition plan. The acronym is SEPFA. You need 5 plans. And when you're thinking about going to NYU, it's like, okay, New York's great. That's good. But what are you going to do there? Where are you going to put yourself? And once you can start to think through this, like, what's my social plan? Who are the people I'm going to surround myself with? Maybe you know people. As part of the plan, you think, where are the places I'm going to put myself? Who are the people I'm going to surround myself with? And how long will it take for me to get what I want? People, places, patience. You got it. People, places, patience. That's what it is. So if you think of NYU, I want you to know, like, where are you going to spend your time? Who are you going to spend it with? And how long will it take for you to get comfortable? There's a lot of clubs, activities, organizations that don't give you access to NYU. You got to have a plan to make sure you have at least a couple places where you're accepted and included simply because you show up. Campus is very scattered. It could be great. It could be great if you know what you're doing. But as a transfer student, you got to go in there, boom. You got to go in there, boom. You got to go in there, boom. You can't screw around. You got to have very specific plans. I don't get caught up into, like, the rankings or prestige. They're both great schools. I think if you're a transfer student, you know what you want. You're able to go to a school that's familiar, that's not too far from home, and it's a little more predictable. Depends on how much they're giving you too. You know, I lean towards the more familiar school in a transfer situation that you would love. It's still going to be a different experience. And then you can always experience New York City another time. Now, you could be like, I'm totally wrong. And I know there's people who go to NYU and it's great. I'm just saying transfer students, it is a rough road if you don't have a plan. You know what I'm saying? It's a rough road if you don't have a plan. So I would plan that out. And if you want to join Best First Year, I can help you with that too. Do I have any best study tips for bad test takers? Hey, Super Sophia. I love that you know that you're a bad test taker. So it's like if you know you're a bad test taker, then you go to the Academic Resource Center and you say, "Hi, I'm Sophia, and I really would love some help finding new ways to study. I'm a terrible test taker." You can go to the accessibility office, student disability office. You can say, "I'm Sophia, and I'm terrible at taking tests, and I would love to know, do you have a class? Is there someone who could help me?" I can give you a couple tips, but you are going to be so much better off having someone you can talk to every week or two who can help you to be a great test taker. See, I used to be terrible at change. Now I'm great at change. And the thing is, you're a terrible test taker, but you might end up becoming a good test taker because you can get to know the people who have figured out how to take tests. So much of taking tests isn't even about like the materials. It's how you approach questions. I don't know how much tutoring you've had, how much one-on-one. It's a skill. So you find those people, studying ahead, knowing what's on the exam, knowing the way you like to study best, whether it's through flashcards, whether it's in a group. Teaching people is always a great way to do it. And if you can use old tests to help you to be able to take tests, that's very helpful. And then sometimes, if you have any accommodations, I'm neurodivergent. I struggle sometimes when it comes to recall, taking tests. Then you take advantage of any of those accommodations. How do I avoid the FOMO as a freshman in college? Hey man, there's always FOMO when you're in a really uncomfortable new place. So you recognize that like this FOMO is normal. This FOMO is what it is. Because when I get uncomfortable and I'm feeling like I don't know if this is right or wrong, I'm going to look at other people. So it's like, okay, this is normal. This is all right. And then you focus back on you, right? You focus back on you. And then you use the things that other people are doing as not something that's a reflection of what you're doing wrong. You use it as an opportunity to see there's a path. And if there's things you want to do, then you do those things. And you learn from the people doing the things you want to do. And if you've got friends on other campuses who are having the time of their life, let me tell you something. There's going to be a time where they don't have the time of their life. And if I had a choice, I'd rather not have the time of my life during the first 6 months of school and to have it be the next 3 years of school. Because the bullshit rains down on everybody. Everybody. So when you recognize, there are dynamics in my life that make this more difficult because I'm in a new place surrounded by new people or I'm doing new things and it's hard and uncomfortable, you're like, damn, I'm doing the work. And when you do the work, it becomes much easier to focus on you and not get caught up in everybody else in the FOMO. You got more than enough time. You got it. You got more than enough time. Thank you. I have until the 19th to make a decision. Yeah, I don't know you really well, and I'm, take my advice with like a grain of sand. If I was gonna say salt, but take it. Talk to other people. But I would talk to not like first year students. I talk to transfers. And I'd see who are the administrators who could be in my corner to help me, to support me and guide me. I want to go to law school, but I'm a terrible writer. Where do I start? Well, you don't want to be a writer. You want to go to law school. And if you can talk, the words will appear on the page because there's so many ways to help. I'm a terrible reader and I'm an author. I struggle reading. I listen to audiobooks. People give me books to review and I just I can't read them. It is so hard for me. So you're living in a time where you could be a terrible writer and be a great lawyer. What I would do though is instead of labeling terrible writer, I would use a more neutral word I'm a writer who needs to learn, who's excited to learn. I'm a writer who wants to explore using new tools to learn and to write. And you take a writing class, take a creative writing class, take a writing class that's not even for credit. That's a cool idea. Take a writing class that's not even for credit and just F around writing and give yourself permission to suck. Okay? You don't have to be good right now. Suck. Be terrible. But then want to be better. And you'll be better. And you'll be a fine writer. Maybe you'll not be a great writer. You'll be good enough. I'm junior computer science. I feel drained. Really bad. Any advice? Yeah, junior comp science, drained person. It's a tough time of year. And when you're feeling drained, it's really healthy to acknowledge it. And you talk to people who are like in good places in their life who have been drained too. And they help you to understand that it's cycles. Like I get drained all the time, dude. I mean, I'm working so much. I'm not a computer science major. I get drained. When I get drained, I'll do things to take care of myself. I recognize it's temporary. I try to do a lot of self-care and, a lot of affirmations. And I ask myself, like, what do I want to feel? And I try to make those choices. I like meditation. I got to do more, and I am doing more because I've been lately kind of drained and a little overwhelmed. And I go back to my habits and rituals and daily practices. Okay? And then I surround myself with light source people, light sources, and take care of yourself. All right? Cycles through, man. Cycles through. You're doing some cool work. Find things that excite you. Hey, Super Sophia, I'm glad I can help you. All right, you guys are great. What advice? I think we've dealt with a lot of questions. This has been fun. If anyone has any more questions, let me know. I'm going to do one more last. Best first year. This is something, please tell other people about it. Hey, if you want to give a gift, I just thought of this because there's a gift option. If you want to give someone a gift, give them the gift. Give a friend, a family member. Give them best first year. Coaching every 2 weeks. On-demand events. There's a Facebook group, especially for parents. You're going to love it. Use code LIVE15, LIVE15, and you will get 15% off. It's the most impactful thing I do. Any advice on missing an exam that was very important, but still didn't study well for it because of my mental health? So you missed an exam that was important and you still didn't study. If you can't do the things you need to do, you got to be kind to yourself. But you also ask yourself the question, like, what's going on and what do I need to do to take care of myself? Like, for real. Like, if you can't do certain things and it's consistent, then you got to really ask yourself, am I taking too many classes? How am I managing my stress, my time? Am I doing things to take care of myself? And that's where, especially being on a college campus, therapists, man, advisors, upperclassmen, if you're not motivated to do that work, you got to reflect and be like, what does I need to do? Because your job is to go to class and it's like, do your best. And it happens all the time. People have to decide, I'm going to spend my time and energy doing this, and this test doesn't matter, and it's okay. And if it's your mental health, then you think, okay, this grade, because grades are always a symptom of something else. It's something I really need to reflect on and think people, places, patients. Who are the people who could help me? Where are the places I could find support? And how long will it take for me to get where I want to go? You got it? All right, everybody here. This has been fun. I am grateful that we've had the chance to spend this wonderful time together. It's the weekend, and I encourage you to have experiences, to enjoy yourself. Oh, one more question, under the wire. I got accepted to an internship, but my company is not allowing me to work remotely abroad during the winter. I'm a little bummed out because it means I'm losing out on funding for a month. That does stink. And that's uncomfortable and upsetting that you can't do the work remotely while you're abroad. I'm trying to think of like if there's any workaround. Maybe one thing you could acknowledge. I know that there's that I can't do the work that I need to do. That's work here. You can then say, is there another department? Is there any other type of project that I could do in the short term? Even if it's busy work, because I'll be there and I really love working, and maybe there's a different way I can contribute. So it's like, you accept it and be like, okay, I got it. Wonder if there's something else I could do. And if there isn't, then I don't know if you're familiar with Parker Dewey. They do micro internships, and Parker Dewey is it's a way for you to do kind of like quick gigs, like internship gigs, micro internships. So you do that. Or for the month where you don't work, you find someone at home who's doing something similar, maybe a small business, and you reach out to them and you ask them if you could do some stuff for them. And you like turn this into a mini internship over winter. So it's like, okay, you can't do that. So what could you do? All right. We will do this again. I will be doing more of these. And if you appreciate this and this has been helpful, then I encourage you to check out my other resources. And I strongly encourage you to check out my Best First Year Coaching, because it's a wonderful resource and it's a direct line to me. It's a little easier for you to get a hold of me. But this is how it works, and this is what I do. So I'm super pumped to have this chance to be with you. We'll do more. Let me know. Give me any feedback in the comments. I love feedback. If you like this, I think I'll keep this up as a replay, although I did, curse a little bit too much. Hey, Andrew, thanks for loving the videos. I appreciate it. And Danny, yes, go Hoosiers. It's crazy what's going on with this whole, IU business, their football team. There's a lot of other issues going on there, but man, that football team, it's weird to be an alum of a football team that's good. It's crazy. I don't know how you guys do this. It's wild. And that game the other day, whew, man, how much fun is that? All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll do this again. I'll keep the replay up, and send me any feedback you have, and have a great weekend, all right? Enjoy. Thanks.